I thought I knew my wife, Rachel. For years, I trusted her completely, through job changes, social events, and late nights at the office. We had a life that looked perfect from the outside, a home, friends, family, and a love I believed was unbreakable. But that illusion shattered one night, at a party I never should have attended without suspicion. It was the annual office holiday party. Rachel had invited me, insisting I come so we could show our support for her promotion at work. I agreed, though I felt uneasy. Something had been off lately. Late nights at the office, mysterious texts she hastily closed when I walked into the room, subtle hints of distraction. I dismissed it as paranoia. Until that night. The party was loud, festive, filled with coworkers laughing and mingling. Rachel dressed elegantly, moved through the crowd with charm and confidence, introducing me to people I barely knew. I tried to focus on making small talk, sipping my drink, convincing myself that everything was normal. But then I saw it. Across the room, Rachel leaned close to her boss, a man I'd always found a little too friendly with her. At first, I thought I was imagining it. Maybe she was just whispering a joke or complimenting him. But then my jaw dropped. She pressed her lips to his in a way that was far too intimate for casual greeting. The kiss lingered, public yet shameless, and the look on her face wasn't playful. It was deliberate. Time slowed. My mind raced. Was this real? Could she actually do this in front of dozens of people at a party I was attending? My stomach turned over and a wave of nausea hit me. I wanted to run, to scream, to demand an explanation on the spot, but something deeper inside me clicked. Anger isn't always immediate. Sometimes it's sharp and cold, and it demands precision. I decided then that whatever I did next would be controlled, deliberate, and unforgettable. I pulled out my phone, pretending to check a message, and captured the moment. Every subtle motion, every expression, every betrayal documented in real time. Rachel's boss didn't notice me, focused entirely on her, and she seemed to glow under his attention. I realized with clarity that this wasn't a one-time lapse. It was deliberate, public, and humiliating. Instead of confronting her at the party, I waited. I watched as she continued to laugh, mingle, and flirt, completely oblivious that I had already claimed the power in the situation. My mind raced with possibilities. Should I expose her immediately? Should I leave, never speak to her again? One thing was certain. She had violated trust, publicly and privately, and she would face consequences. I decided on immediate action. I excused myself, stepped outside, and contacted a private investigator I had previously used for unrelated work. Within the hour, I had a dossier prepared. Photos, videos, timestamps, and witness statements from colleagues who had seen the interaction. It wasn't just a momentary slip. It was a pattern of behavior I could prove. The next morning, I didn't confront her directly. Instead, I called her parents and close friends I trusted. I showed them everything, every image, every video, and calmly explained what had happened. The reactions were a mix of shock, disbelief, and anger. Rachel had always cultivated an image of professionalism and integrity, and seeing her exposed in such a blatant betrayal left everyone stunned. By the end of the week, I filed for divorce. Her lawyer called, furious, but I didn't engage emotionally. I had documented everything meticulously, and the case was strong. Custody of our children, financial arrangements, and property, all of it was prepared for, and I moved swiftly to protect my interests. She couldn't hide behind charm or excuses this time. When she finally tried to confront me, I remained calm. She pleaded, cried, and promised that it wouldn't happen again, that it was a mistake. But trust, once destroyed publicly and so flagrantly, cannot simply be repaired with words. I handed her the divorce papers and walked away, my actions deliberate, cold, and decisive. My jaw had dropped at the betrayal, but my resolve hardened immediately afterward. The fallout was immediate and severe for her. Her colleagues learned of the incident through subtle exposure, her boss distanced himself, and her social standing suffered. She had always valued reputation, and the truth stripped it away. I didn't publicly humiliate her myself. Instead, the facts spoke for themselves. My revenge wasn't loud or petty. It was the natural consequence of her actions, magnified by exposure and undeniable proof. Meanwhile, I focused on rebuilding my life. I spent time with my children, protecting them from the emotional chaos she had created. I maintained routines, stability, and love, ensuring that their lives were not disrupted by her indiscretions. Seeing them laugh, succeed at school, and thrive reminded me why I had acted decisively and why I had refused to tolerate betrayal. Months passed. My emotional wounds healed, replaced by clarity and resilience. Rachel became a shadow in my life, gone from my daily routines, distant from our children, and forced to confront the consequences of her actions. My revenge, calm and calculated, had worked. She had lost control, reputation, and influence, and I had reclaimed my peace and dignity. In retrospect, that party was the turning point. Seeing her kiss her boss was shocking, but it also awakened a clarity I hadn't realized I needed. Betrayal can strike suddenly, publicly, and unexpectedly, but the way you respond defines your life thereafter. I chose deliberate action over emotional chaos, control over rage, and long-term justice over fleeting satisfaction. Today, my children and I thrive in a stable, honest environment. Rachel's betrayal remains a lesson and a cautionary tale. My jaw had dropped that night, but my life was never more intact. The most effective revenge is often not loud. It is controlled, deliberate, and complete, ensuring that the person who betrayed you faces the full consequences of their actions while you rebuild your life stronger than ever.